Planets in No Man's Sky here on Cobra TV.
What we're dealing with is planet-sized planets, so even just one planet, if 1 million of us played, we would still be really far apart, right?
Right.
As we reach closer and closer to the release of No Man's Sky, we continue to do the information breakdown countdown, and this month we will be talking about the planets in No Man's Sky. And when we're talking about the planets in No Man's Sky, we're talking about planets so big it could take you a lifetime to explore just one on foot. And that's with not stopping to look at its wildlife or ancient ruins or points of interest. That's without having to fight your way through otherworldly aliens aimed at killing you and sentinels aimed at destroying you if you harm the planet, and without thinking about the deadly creatures that want to eat you or stomp you out of existence, the potentially poisonous air, acid-filled lakes, and let's not forget the sandworms. And there are more planets than you could ever visit in a lifetime. These aren't maps in a sandbox game. These are planet-sized planets. Each and every one of you who plays No Man's Sky will be born on one. Yours will be different from mine. Your first memories will be different from mine. You could start off on an easy planet. I could start off on a very difficult planet. But in that solar system, you will be alone. Sean said that we all will start out on our own planet in our own solar system by ourselves, but in the same galaxy together. And the core of that game is to get to the center of that first galaxy. No Man's Sky is a universe with multiple galaxies, but after we get to the center of the first galaxy, they're not saying very much. The planets within the universe will have a 10% chance of having life on them, with 90% of them having no life at all. Of the 10% that does have life, 90% of that will be primitive and normal. So the lush garden worlds with more evolved life forms on them will be very, very rare. There will be about 5 to 12 planets per solar system. Most planets will be close together, but sometimes a planet can be far away, as Sean says here.
But they are closer together generally in the game than you would find in real life in our universe. And that's a conscious decision that we've made. I was sort of against it to begin with. Grant, our artist, kind of won out because he was saying, show me a piece of sci-fi concept art that doesn't have crescent planet hanging on the horizon. And I was like, I kind of couldn't find that piece of sci-fi concept. So it's fair enough. This is, he was like, you said you wanted sci-fi book covers, that's sci-fi book covers. So planets are a little closer than they would be. That's both for an aesthetic reason, but also for gameplay reasons. The reality is you want things to just be maybe a little bit closer together so that you have that freedom to go and visit planets. You want to spend most of your time doing that rather than traveling. But it's only a little bit, actually. We have some planets that are really, really far away, and I like when that happens as well. It's just they tend to be a little bit closer on average.
Planets will have a real day and night cycle too. That depends on the rotation of the planet and the actual sun in that solar system. Currently, planets have a single biome across the entire surface, but Sean has said that there could be some variations here and there. Lately in the gameplay, we have seen some similar looking planets, but that's only to preserve the game. The last time we see major variations is when IGN covered the game in the tour of 5 planets. But a lot of gamers called the planets with no life boring, uneventful. Though if you watch the trailer, you can clearly see that even the planets with no life, there is AI to fight, landscapes beyond our wildest dreams, ruins, resources, the list goes on. Just because there isn't any grass doesn't mean that every planet won't have surprises. The trailers that we have seen have shown some alien animals in them, but as Sean has stated, they don't want to ruin the game for us and hold back a little when showing it. The procedural generation will allow for some pretty strange creatures to cross our paths. Starting out, we will see things that look more familiar to us, such as large dinosaurs and normal types of mammals that we have seen so far in the trailers. But in recent trailers, we have been starting to see some bipedal creatures as well. Hello Games has even said that the animals will even eat each other. But as we get closer to the center of the galaxy, the creatures and the planets will be more mutated, and some life may not make sense to us. And let's not forget that there's also plants that can eat you. You'll have a mini-map which will show you points of interest such as resource-rich areas, landmarks that you or others have uploaded, and we won't know exactly what it is until we get there. The points of interest include crashed ships, beacons, portals, trade stations, something to discover like mountain ranges or strange creatures or ruins, or a vast lake, which even on a barren planet there could be lakes, it just might not be water. Could be acid or ammonia, the list goes on. That's where a suit will play an important role, and those suits can be upgraded too. These upgrades include allowing you to breathe underwater for longer or survive in toxic environments. So make sure before you take that swim, you look at the chemical compounds of the water first. Your suit may not be able to handle it yet. Some of the ruins can be huge, and as Sean has said, they could have dungeons in them with procedural rooms. He also stated that blueprints for tech can be found in them, along with more lore to the game. You can name things that you discover first, such as plants, planets, creatures, etc. I wonder how responsible people are going to be with that kind of power. There will be trading posts on the planets. You will be able to upgrade your ship, multi-tool, and your suit at these trading posts. You can see floating orbs at the center of this trade station, and I imagine these are sort of like a kiosk, but I'm not really sure. Trading posts are dotted around the planet, so there's more than one trading post on the planet, and there is more than one type. Some might buy up resources, some might be specialized for specific upgrades to your suit and weapons, and not every store is going to stock the same inventory. They also have ratings to determine the general quality of the stuff that they sell. And the really cool thing is there's going to be portals to different random planets closer to the center of the galaxy, and these and some rare alien temples that you can discover. The one that we seen had a central spire surrounded by a ring of portals to different places with two giant flying creatures circling above both sides of the portal. Each portal requires a different weapon or combination of weapons to open it. You can't take your ship with you, so whatever you're going to grab, you need to go ahead and grab it and come back through the portal. And since we can't buy any ships from trade stations, we can only buy them from the space station, we won't be able to cheat and stay there and just get a new ship. There won't be any gravity difference on these planets either, because your suit kind of nullifies the gravity, and so you won't notice any difference, but it would be really cool to turn off the suit and jump around a planet in low gravity. There will be resources on planets. Some you will have to blow away parts of the planet just to get to them, which will get the attention of the Sentinels and increase your wanted level if you go crazy. But there will be crystals around the planets that are free for the taking and will not give you a wanted level if you go crazy on those. You can combine resources that you gather to make valuable resources to use in trade, or to make resources that you need for your ship or multi-tool. While you're making discoveries and such, you will need to find a beacon to upload them to the Atlas. If you die on the ground, you will respawn at your ship, but lose everything you're carrying, and those discoveries will also be gone if you have not uploaded them at the beacon. There will also be combat situations on planets. And as you can see here, one of the big ships we've seen in space is on a planet and it's being attacked. Also notice how it seems cold on the planet. It being far away from the sun would also cause that. And on a planet too close to the sun, it would be hot. And just like in real life, ones that are set just right will have life. Not all of the barren planets will be a bland brown color. Some could be gray, white, or even frozen. Some planets may be so hot that they are molten lava. And getting around the planet, Sean was asked if the procedural aspect of the game created a problem for how traversable the planets were. After all, they want us to explore, but what if we can't? What if we get stuck? What if we can't go over here or over there? Well, that's where the jetpack comes in. There's no way Hello Games can be certain that we won't get stuck somewhere, so your jetpack's going to definitely come in handy. I'm sure they could just put on a respawn me out of here, but that wouldn't be fun. Plus, add the fact that we can blow up the environment to get us out as well. The oceans in No Man's Sky seems to be a very big concern for a lot of people. The oceans in No Man's Sky are going to be very deep, although we have not seen those deep oceans in any of the gameplay or any of the trailers. But Sean has said that he tried to swim down to a point of interest that was really, really deep, only to find out that his suit was not upgraded enough for going that deep, and he died. Caves on the planets can go deep as well, and as stated by Sean, can go on forever, and you could even get lost.
And I can see down here this huge cave network, and I've never really been down there, but I know that when I've gone down there before, like just a little bit, it just goes on and on forever, and you can get totally lost.
These cave networks can also be found by blowing away the ground beneath you, and can even be found underwater as well. The procedural music in No Man's Sky can also be generated by the feel and look of the planet, which is something I cannot wait to hear. The only music I think we've heard so far is the music that's in the galactic map, which I really like. We're going to see a lot of AI on the planets, mining, pirating, trading, and even patrolling. But there will be some times on a planet where you may be completely alone. No AI, no nothing. Be able to take a rest for a little while. With all that we know, and Hello Games being cautious about what they say and what they show, I'm so excited to see what they're holding back. Their approach to keeping things hushed is indeed refreshing after seeing some games too much before the release and ruining the entire experience. There is so much more about the planets, but guys, what is your ideal planet? What can you not wait to find? And what do you think you're going to name the planet that you are born on? Comment down below. As always, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of Cobra TV. Stay tuned for a new Megaton Rainfall update video where Cobra TV interviewed Alfonso, the developer for Megaton Rainfall, through a written interview. Until next time.